Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Mad Dog, Magnati, thanks for being here on a Monday morning. It's nice to have you. You know, it was interesting. My wife was complaining to me yesterday, well, just complaining in general about the smoke. Where is it coming from? And she finds out today it's coming from Oregon. And she's going, my gosh, this is crazy. We're getting smoke from Oregon before we had it from Canada. What is this? You know, I don't know. What are you going to do? Okay. But hey, it's still Wenatchee. We love it here. Nice to be with us today. But look, you know, I was at a party the other night, and I was talking to a friend of mine, this attorney friend, and previous to talking to the attorney friend, some woman had come up to me, and she knows I do marriage and relationship counseling, so she was asking me advice about this kind of stuff and that kind of stuff, and this happens to me all the time, you know. So I was talking to my lawyer friend about it. I said, what do you do? You know, when people ask you for advice at social gatherings like this. And he says, well, what I do, he says, I listen to them and I give them my advice. But the next day I send him a bill. He says, you should do that too. And I said, oh, that's a good idea. So the next day I put together my bill and I walked out to my post office mailbox, and what did I find? I found a bill from the attorney. Okay, and I read something about Bill Clinton recently. You know, Bill, famous for a number of things, including his sexual proclivity. And he was once asked about that. He said, well, Bill, did you ever use protection? He said, all the time. He said, there was always a Secret Service agent standing outside the door. All right. And you know, I recently took a trip. I was out of the country in Europe. And I remember when I got onto the plane, though, the flight attendant came up to me and said, so would you like dinner, sir? I said, sure. What are the options? She said, yes and no. And, you know, there were some studies done. We've talked in the past, well, at least we did growing up, about the issues involving Russian roulette and why people would play a game like that. But they did a study, and 5 out of 6 doctors said Russian roulette is safe. All right, now, you know, look, if you don't like my jokes today, you can blame Stephen Colbert. I stole them all from him. And I have to steal jokes from other people because North Central Washington, NCWLife.com is too cheap to buy me my own writers. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, I got a great show for you today. A really cool guest, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season, and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
Antique Mall at Cashmere is Trade Dollar Coin's new location. Whether you're in search for coins, currency, gold, or silver, you'll find what you're looking for. From coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, find coins rarely seen from around the world. Whether you're buying or selling or need supplies, Trade Dollar Coins is the place to be. Located in Antique Mall at Cashmere. Open 7 days a week.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Mike, Mad Dog, Magnati. My guest today is Katie Leonardville. Katie, nice to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
The thing cool about Katie is the sales and marketing director for the Wenatchee Wild, the job you started just about a year ago, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay, well, good. Well, how you liking it? How you liking Wenatchee? All that kind of stuff.
It's definitely grown on me. I got here so late in the season last year that I just jumped straight into hockey, and I didn't get a chance to actually enjoy Wenatchee. So I've really, this summer, spent a lot of time exploring and checking out what Washington really has to offer, because I'm new to Washington and Wenatchee.
Yeah, you lived, you were saying earlier off camera, you lived in both North and South Dakota.
Yes.
And then you actually lived in California for 4 years.
I did. Yep, I did.
Okay. So.
And that's kind of where I got my start in hockey. Even though I grew up in the Midwest, it's really in California where I got my start in hockey.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, just so people get to know Katie, not just as this professional position you have. That type of thing.
Well, I grew up in North Dakota.
Okay.
So I got my private pilot license when I was
Oh,
16.
wow,
I could
cool.
fly before I could drive.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
That's really neat.
And my dad would always say that you knew when Katie was flying because all the birds were on the ground. And you knew when she was driving because then all the birds would fly away. So.
Oh, I think I'd like your father. Sounds like he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
When I was 18, I left North Dakota and moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
I went to college there. It was January and it was probably -30. And my friend goes, "Do you want to move to LA?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I do." Yeah.
So did you finish college in LA, or did you finish college and then move down there?
I finished college in Minneapolis,
Okay.
and then when I moved down to Orange County, California, I went back to school.
All right, what'd you major in? undergrad?
In sports science.
Sports science.
Sports science.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Really? What is it?
Sports science.
Tell us a little bit about it.
It's basically kind of like biology, anatomy.
Okay.
That's basically what it is, but you specialize more in how the body can.
Okay, well, I mean, is this in preparation to do like physical therapy for?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So when I was in Orange County, I was going into nursing.
Okay.
That's kind of what I wanted to do.
All right. I thought
And
when you
then I
said.
fell into the hockey world.
Okay. I thought when you said sports science, maybe you were talking about the mentality and the motivation for NFL football players to be real jerks. Or something.
No, no,
okay.
not
So it
quite.
wasn't sociology; it was physiology.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Great.
Yes.
Great.
Yep. So I was gonna go into nursing, and then my older brother was stationed in Japan. He's been in the Navy since 2004,
All right.
and he got a recruiting gig in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And he was moving his family. They were going to be there for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought if I'm going to spend any time with those babies and my brother, that was the time that I was going to move. So I moved to Rapid City, South
cool,
Dakota,
cool.
to spend some time with them.
right.
And at that point, that's when I kind of got into
All right, well, how
sales and hockey
How
and
did
all
you get
that
into
good
the
stuff.
hockey world? How did that come about?
When I was living in Orange County, I met Teemu Selanne.
Who I have no idea who that is.
Teemu Selanne is one of the best hockey players probably
Okay.
in the NHL.
All right. Okay.
So he retired a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And when I met him, he gave me a couple tickets to go watch the Ducks.
Right.
And so, because that's who he was playing for, the Anaheim Ducks. And so I went to those games, and then I would follow him over to Phoenix, Arizona when they were playing the Coyotes, and met some of those players. And then it just kind of
So you just
was a
kinda-
whirlwind from there.
Yeah, you
At that
just gotta-
point, I fell in love with hockey, and
You got caught up in the culture, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, that's
And
interesting.
now Teemu Selanne's son is playing for the Penticton Vees now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. You know what other sport has a really strong culture? Is rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever hung around rodeo and that kind of stuff? When I was a cop, we used to work security at the Ellensburg Rodeo.
Yeah.
And I realized then that is a whole different world,
You have no idea. Like I've been to a couple rodeos in
Yeah.
Washington, and I'm like, this is nothing compared to the Midwest rodeos.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, they make up events to make it last longer. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of fun. I had horses growing up. I still have a horse back on our ranch in North
Oh, really?
Dakota.
Oh, you're a
and
cowgirl.
I am.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good.
I absolutely. It gets addicting.
Yeah.
It does.
I'll
Yep.
bet. I'll bet. All right, so you know what I'm talking about as far as the rodeo culture and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you have big belt buckles?
Yep, the big belt buckles, probably 15 pairs of boots,
Oh, cool.
and all the flannel, and yep.
But you found hockey to be somewhat similar as far as, a culture, that type of thing?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The fans are very dedicated.
Yep, very
They are
true.
very passionate. They will follow it no matter what season it is. Right now, I think they're going stir crazy without any hockey on.
Well, there is the Wild they've had a game or two already, haven't they?
So we just got done with our first set of exhibition games
Okay,
this
all right.
past weekend.
That's what
So
I
it's
thought.
just kind of like scrimmaging. It's just preseason. But we ended up sweeping the Trail Smoke Eaters this weekend,
All right.
and it was a lot of fun.
Good, cool. So you like it, Wenatchee?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get involved with the Wild organization? And that type of thing?
It's kind of a weird story. So I worked for a team back in South Dakota, and their GM ended up being GM here.
Right.
So I wasn't under him when he was GM in Rapid City, but then when he came here, he kind of recruited me to come here. So about 2 weeks before last season started, he ended up leaving and going back to Canada. So I kind of stepped up and did his role and
Now, were you able to come out and visit before you actually came out here to live? And
you know, I didn't know that Wenatchee was even in the mountains.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a river here. I did zero research.
Yeah, okay.
I made my decision, and then I was in South Dakota for about 1 week. And then I went to Las Vegas, I went back down to LA, and then I ended up taking a trip with my family in Japan.
Yeah,
We went to
okay.
Cambodia and Thailand, and
Really?
then I flew into Wenatchee, and I was like, oh, it's really pretty here.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it
it's
is. It's
awesome.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So are people liking you? You know, how you liking the people? See, that's what really attracted me when I moved here a long time ago. So the
Yeah.
people were a lot. See, I'm from the East Coast.
Yes.
People aren't quite as polite back there as you might think. The pizza's a lot better. But, you know, so how'd the people treat you, that type of thing?
The people that I've met are great.
Yeah,
Everyone's super friendly. They want to see us all succeed at the Wild, and
Yeah.
they supported us, and they're really helpful.
Okay, how about outdoor sports yourself? I mean, do you do anything else other than, you know, I mean, what do you like to do in your off time?
I played basketball in college,
Yeah.
and
Were you any good?
no, I really wasn't. I'd like to say that I was, but I played 2 years at a private college, and then I basically sat on the bench for the university. So, but you know, when they were really winning, they'd be like, "All right, go out there. You can't screw it up, right?"
So do you get to play out here? Because I've got friends who still trying to prove they're not 60 anymore. So
Oh, really?
They do a little 3-on-3 and that kind of stuff. And
Okay.
they talk
No,
and brag
I
about
haven't.
it.
I haven't picked up a ball in probably 5 years or so. But I would really like to get back into it. But I love to kayak. I take my kayak up to Lake Chelan every chance I get.
Cool.
And
Good.
yeah.
So what else? Like any other water sports, skiing, that type of thing?
Yeah.
know?
Yep. I grew up kind of skiing in Red Lodge and Big Sky, and I tried my best at snowboarding and didn't go very well. I like to say that I can do it, but it doesn't look pretty. So I kind of switched back to skiing. It's a little more enjoyable for me.
Well, good. So what do you like most, about this area, that type of thing, since you've been here?
I mean, the scenery is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's
I
great.
like being so close to a big city.
Yeah.
But being far enough away where you don't have to deal with that many people. Because living in rural South Dakota, our biggest city was Denver, which was a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
So if you needed to go, school shopping, or if you needed to go get something, it was an entire weekend of driving. So it's nice to be that close and have the water right there.
Yeah, where do you like to go, Seattle or Spokane?
Seattle.
Good,
Yep.
smart girl.
I like to go to
Smart
Seattle.
girl. I'm not a Spokane fan.
Yeah.
Okay, for
Yeah.
some reason Spokane's always been Division Street to me. And if you like Spokane, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not dissing your town. I'm just saying,
Yep. One of my best college friends lives up there, so I'll go up there for the weekend.
Oh, cool.
Spend the weekend with
Yeah,
her.
I like that too. Matter of fact, we were talking earlier about the differences in snow. I mean, Katie feels that she really had a heavy snow last year. It was to a certain degree, but it's been worse. My wife and I lived in Seattle, for a couple years when I went back to school and my daughter was first born back in the late 70s. I think it snowed 3 inches once.
Wow.
It shut the city down for a week.
We're still golfing in North Dakota when that happens.
Yeah, well, out here it's nothing,
Yeah.
Here it's nothing. But no,
Yeah.
Seattle, the whole city was shut down because they're just not prepared for it.
Oh, I believe it.
Okay, so hey, my guest is Katie Leonardville. She is the sales and marketing director of the Wenatchee Wild. We're going to be talking more about that when we come back, but we need to take a quick break. So stick around. We'll be talking more with Katie when we get back. Street Talking Other Stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. We will be right back.
This is the NCAA NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by First Choice Collision Center. Saturday, September 2 at Lake Wenatchee State Park, staff will provide an educational and fun junior ranger program learning about the life cycle of sockeye salmon, their territory, habits, and interesting facts. A take-home project will be included so you remember what you learned, even at home. The fun starts at 11 a.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
High school football is back on the NCW Life channel. Join us Friday, September 1st as the Wenatchee Panthers open their 2017 campaign against the Southridge Suns at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Panther football on the NCW Life channel is brought to you by The Walkabout Grill, Collins Fashions, Town Nissan, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Join us for the pregame live at 6:50 as Wenatchee hosts Southridge in the season opener Friday, September 1st on the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
All right, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mike Mad Dog McNatty with Katie Leonardville. She is the sales and marketing director for our own Wenatchee Wild. So, hockey season's about to start. You just finished some exhibition
Yep.
games, you just
Yep,
said?
we have one more set of exhibition games,
Okay.
and then our home opener is September the 16th.
All right, who we playing?
For our home opener?
Yeah, you know.
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, well, shouldn't you know that kind of stuff?
I should, actually. Thanks for putting me on the spot there.
Anytime. Anytime. My pleasure. My pleasure. So, yeah. So how you liking it? What exactly does the sales and marketing director do?
So I oversee our salespeople as far as season tickets, group tickets, individual tickets, things like that. We come up with different specials, different packages. And then I also put together all of the marketing, so the radio, the print, the digital media, all that kind of good stuff. So.
You have that experience in that area as far as the...
You know, I kind of got thrown into it this past season, and it was a little trial by fire and figure it out and live and learn. So.
Do you do any of the ads yourself, or do you?
No,
I mean,
we have a radio
that?
broadcaster that broadcasts all of our games, and he's usually the one that goes into the studio to cut commercials.
Okay, all right. Now, how come you don't do it though? I mean, wouldn't that be kind of fun?
I guess it would be kind of fun.
You should think about it.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, I used to do public service ads for the police department when I worked there, and of course, this kind of nonsense. You know? But yeah, it's kind of, you know, and you'd be good at it.
Yeah, maybe I'll think
I think
about it.
so.
I'll think about it.
You got good aesthetics.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Now, the job you have is what Don West used to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Don's a pal. You know,
Yes.
he was on the show a while back, too. So what are you finding most interesting about the work? I mean, is this something that you've done before, or is this new to you, or?
This role is a little bit new to me, but I kind of got my feet wet this past year in this role, so I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. I like to think I know what I'm doing now, but it has been a new experience for me. I have had hockey experience, but I was in the sales role. Just, you know, calling people and making sure everyone's accounts are right and seats are right and those kinds of things. So being in a director role, it's a little bit different, but it's definitely where I want to be. It's what I want to do.
Good. How are you doing with getting people to sponsor the games? Because that's actually how Katie and I connected. You know, my adoption agency used to sponsor a game, but I don't raise funds anymore. Thank God. I hated trying to raise money. But how is that going as far as getting...
It's really good. We maybe have a couple spots left, but for the most part, we're pretty full. And, you know, we're always looking for different sponsors and opportunities to, you know, get more people into our games. That's
Okay.
basically our end goal, is to, have a sold out arena.
Right.
So.
Now, when the games are going on, are you actually getting down on the ice too and making announcements and stuff the way Don used to do?
No. So
on.
I'm in Don's role, but I don't do that. We actually hired somebody else to do
really?
that.
Oh, I think
I'm
okay.
more of a behind the scenes kind of a person.
Yeah.
So I'll work guest services. I'll help with intermission events. I'll be up in the AV booth doing whatever. So I'm just kind of running around.
No,
and
I
doing
would
that
like
stuff.
the performance aspect of it.
Yeah, no, that's not me. No, I rather lay low.
All right, so what are you finding most challenging?
That's a good question.
Or is there
I
anything
think,
doing that you don't want to do? I mean, every job's got something that you would rather dump on somebody else. But,
Right, I'm a really good delegator.
Very good for
I
you.
can delegate
All
those
right,
tasks.
cool.
So I guess there's not really too much that I don't enjoy about my job.
Yeah. All right, good. So what is it, again, what's most challenging? What have you found that, your responsibilities are that you've got to...
I
push
think
yourself a
maybe
little bit.
keeping everyone happy is always a really hard thing, whether it's in the office or it's season ticket holders or, our sponsors. It's really hard to find that balance
Okay.
of keeping everybody happy. And
So what kind of issues do you have with season ticket holders? They complain about what seats you gave them or something like that, or...
it could
Come on,
range.
give us the dirt.
It could range.
Look, nobody's watching this anyway, okay? Come on, tell me the secrets here.
Yeah, it could be maybe we put them in their wrong seats.
Okay.
And so then when they get their book's wrong, and then that book's no good because then we have to move seats, or maybe they didn't get a notice, or there's no drawing at the game for season ticket holders, or
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it could be anything.
Okay, do they get mad that they're not winning the pizza or that kind of stuff,
Yeah. We had one season ticket holder that was upset that they never got a T-shirt last year from T-shirt Toss.
Oh,
And I was like, I will be happy to get you a T-shirt. Let me go get one.
Okay, so who came up with the year 10 in the den? That's the motto for this year, right? Tell us about how that came about.
We kind of had a contest. We asked everybody to brainstorm different ideas for what our motto could be for our 10-year anniversary. And that was one that our team in Fresno actually came up with. Because our owners are based out of Fresno, California.
Okay, right.
And so I emailed them and I said, "Do you guys have any good ideas?" And that was one of their ideas.
Well,
So
of course,
I honestly don't even know whose idea it was down there.
The owner of the company might have a little bit of pull here.
Yeah. Great idea. Awesome. We'll go with
It
it.
does sound good, though.
Yeah, no, I really like it.
So what kind of stuff are you going to do? I mean, for a while you had the big blow up of the Wolf, fire coming up.
Yep, we still have that.
Well,
So we're also going to be putting in a kids zone in our concourse. So, if your kids don't really want to watch the entire game, you can just tell them to go out into the concourse. We're going to have, it's like a slap shot, and it has like a radar to tell you how fast your slap shot
really?
is. And it's a big
Cool.
inflatable, and
Good.
air hockey and a hockey box and all that kind of good tattoos, face painting. So we'll have like a little kids zone. For our 10-year, we're also going to be doing 10 grand prizes at the very last game of the year. So every single time you come to a game, you can put your name in for one of these 10 grand
cool.
prizes.
What kind of prizes are you going to have?
We're going to have a $10,000 like a puck shoot, basically.
Okay, good. Yeah.
A trip to Vegas, a mini vacation in Leavenworth, rafting, skydiving, those kinds of
Oh,
things.
cool.
Yeah, it'll be a
That's
lot of
good.
fun.
So who's some of those your ideas?
Yeah, I mean, we all do brainstorming usually every Monday. We kind of sit down and come up with different ideas, and we're going to be highlighting season ticket holders that have been with us for 10 years, sponsors that have been with us for 10 years, and we have a specialty third jersey that we're going to be wearing this year. So it's going to be a 10-year jersey that we'll be doing.
Good.
We're going to do an alumni game and just have fun with it.
All right, well, there's something I want you to do, and I kind of asked you this before. They have a new coach out there. His name is Lee Mendelson.
Yes.
And what is Lee's job?
He is associate head coach.
Okay. Now, the interesting thing about Lee is that he is from Caldwell, New Jersey, which is where I'm from. Okay, so I asked you to do this when I first introduced you to me, but I want you to push this. I want you to come and say, hey, Mike McNally, the guy was on the team.
Yeah.
He's from Caldwell.
Yeah.
So say to him, how you doing? I mean, what made you come out here from New Jersey?
Yeah, I will.
So, okay, sound good?
I will. I definitely will.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, okay, but I want you to stick around because I do something at the end of the show that you might find interesting.
All right.
I don't know, you might get irritated by it, or you might say, why is he making me stay for this? I'm embarrassed now. All right, but my guest again today, Katie Leonardville, Sales and Marketing Director from the Wenatchee Wild. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for
She's
having
going to stick
me.
around, but hey, stick around. We're going to be right back.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
No matter what your age or ailment, when you wake up each day with a sense of purpose, life has meaning and joy.
Just wait a while, it'll get in the hole somewhere.
Helping you do this is our purpose. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
The best thing about my life right now is
me.
Hi there, Wenatchee. My name is Sean Lee, and I'm the host of the NCW Movie Guide. Join me every week for a breakdown of the movies currently playing at our theaters, as well as a sneak preview of some upcoming features.
You can buy fruit almost anywhere. From first off the tree to first in your hands, Lone Pine offers seasonal fruit from their farm and around the region every day. Make Lone Pine your latte stop with coffee from Blue Star Coffee Roasters and a fresh piece of fruit pie. Take a break with a friend and order a cold micro beer or a glass of Northwest wine. Bring the whole family and enjoy a Lone Pine lunch or a fresh shake in their park-like setting. Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso on Highway 97.
All right, street talk and other stuff. Mad Dog McNally. Now, Katie, what we do here is we do something called Your Probably Worthless Opinion, where I read letters sent in from viewers, okay? And I haven't looked at this one yet, so let's see. Dear Mad Dog, I've been following the story in the Wenatchee World and in the national news about both Vice President Mike Pence and the local pastor, both of them who have vowed never to be alone with a woman who wasn't their wife. Have you heard about this at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, Mike Pence has made a deal with his wife. He will never be alone with another woman. And evidently a local pastor gave a sermon that said he's going to do the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been watching the story about Mike Pence and the local pastor, both of whom have said they'll never be alone with a woman who wasn't their wife. I was wondering, you do counseling for couples, singles, etc., so you must be alone with other women all the time. Aren't you supposed to be a good Christian? I always like it when other people tell me how I'm supposed to be as a Christian, okay? How could you allow yourself to be put into a position of such temptation and dishonor of your faith when Vice President Pence and the local pastor are such good examples of fine, faithful men of such pure morality? Shame on you. How do you explain yourself?
Oh, my word.
Signed, God's voice to you. Okay, well, God's voice. First of all, why should God talk to you about me instead of talking to me directly? Okay, now that's question number one. Second of all, I can say what I think about Vice President Pence and this other pastor. Frankly, they're just taking the easy way out. You know, they really are. Let's face it. Okay, and think about, just whatever. I think they're taking the easy way out. And I want to assure you of something. As far as any possible temptation is concerned, anyone here in town, if you ever run into my wife and you don't want to be in an elevator alone with her, you don't have to worry about anything like that, because what she would say to you is this: Why should I settle for hamburger when I got steak at home? Well, Katie, thanks for being here.
Thank
Street Talking
you.
Other Stuff. Mike, Mad Dog, Magnati. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.